What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Straight Betting. Today is Saturday, May 31st. We got Knicks Pacers Game 6 in Indianapolis. Guys, before I get started, man, first of all, I just want to tell y'all, sorry for recording this late. My ear is beyond messed up right now. I tried cleaning it with a clear Q-tip, which is like a dumbass decision. Never do that. I just literally saw a Q-tip I'm like, okay, I haven't used a Q-tip for my ears in a while. And dude, it feels like I have an AirPod in my left ear. Like I'm genuinely deaf. I'm probably talking loud as hell right now. And because I just can't hear. So I don't know, man. I hope I'm not actually seriously have a messed up ear. But if you guys have recommendations for popping your ear, please drop them down below in the comments, bro, because this shit is painful. It's not painful, it's just annoying. So yeah. Kind of a weird way to start the video, but there we go. Anyways, guys, I do have a couple more things to say before we start breaking stuff down. I only have one play, and it's not even an official play. It's a SGP, and my name's Straight Betting. I only do straight bets officially, but I do play SGPs for fun on the side, and this one I think is really good correlated, so that's gonna be my play for today. But as a content creator, guys, it's tough to because before everything, I'm a bettor, and pretty much everyone else who does content before everything is a content creator, right? So it's kind of easy for people to just be like, yeah, I guess I like it. Here's my plays for today. That's not me, man. I'm gonna be completely honest. I do not have any good conviction behind straight bets today. And I'm just not gonna I'm not the type of person to come to a video and be like, okay, well, I need a straight bet because that's what the video is about. So I'm gonna force something out real quick. So it's just tough, man, because it is better content. Obviously, the more picks that I have, but if I just don't have anything that I like I'm just not gonna be the one to be like, okay, well, the Benedict Mathurin over 10.5 points. He scored 20 each last game, bro. Screw it, bro. This has got to be a little bit low. No, that's just not who I am, man. So, apologize for the lackluster content, I guess you could say, because I do, like I said, I don't have a official straight bet. I do have an SGP, but yeah, it's just a tough bridge to get, man. Some people, it's really easy for them who are just content creators to be like, yeah, I have a quota of 2 plays minimum today, so whatever, I'm just gonna pick these 2. But yeah, I just don't. That's just not how I think. Like I said, I'm a bettor before everything. So yeah, just wanted to get that off my chest and make some excuses for the video, I guess. No, good. Yeah, I guess the way this video is gonna go today is I'll give out the SGP first, and I'll talk about other angles that I like because I do definitely have some leans, man, for sure. Definitely have some leans on how I think the game goes, all that good stuff. Yeah, let's get into the official play. But first, guys, if you guys are new here, make sure to drop a like, sub the channel. Like I said, if you guys are new here, these videos will usually have more plays. Like I said, today just I didn't find anything that I had an edge on, so I didn't play. But yeah, like I said, if you're new here, drop a like, sub, all that good stuff. All right, guys. SGP, we're rolling with this, man. I love this correlation here. Benedict Mathurin under 6.5 points, under 2.5 rebounds, and then Aaron Nesmith over 17.5 PRA. I played this at FanDuel for, I think I put a little bit more than a quarter unit. I just bet to win $200. So I bet to win 2 units. I think it ended up being 0.26 units or something like that. So yeah, obviously, guys, this is not a unit play. Do not go blowing your bankroll on plus 800s and stuff like that. But yeah. So guys, Mathurin, I was thinking about buying or selling high on him. He's obviously had 2 great games. This one was in 13 minutes, which is just a crazy outlier. And then, game script I think played a part in this. Nesmith playing like shit I think played a part in this, and he ended up at 25 minutes. He's been scoring the ball really well, man. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, so he's done this. However, guys, the prior couple games, 21 minutes. His minutes got completely cut to 11 and then to 8. And then it looked like he was probably trending of DMPing, right? And then he only played 13 minutes. He can easily score under 6.5 points in 13 minutes, by the way. But yeah, he only played 13 minutes. He scored 20 points and still only received 13 minutes. And then, like I said, I think this was more of a game script one. Let's, not play Nesmith. He's not playing good. We're down by 1 million. We need some points. That's kind of like a Mathurin script, right? And then at home, I do like Indiana to win this game, man. I just think that they're the better team. I'm not going to be fooled by a home game with where a team, back against the wall completely. It's kind of that last Knicks game kind of reeked of like the Wolves game 3, where it's like, okay, this is just such an obvious spot for them to win the game. And it just like then just like random stuff just like tends to happen. So yeah. I think that in like a positive game script or like, a close game where the Pacers maybe are trying to hold on to a lead, you really don't want to play Mathurin, man, because he's kind of like a wild card. I think that coaches around the league and Rick Carlisle view Mathurin as like a Kuminga type player where it's like, yeah, they obviously have a shit ton of talent, but like when it comes to impacting winning, like they need the ball in their hand to be effective. The defense, the IQ isn't exactly like the highest. Like you'd rather roll with like a Neesmith, even like a Ben Shepherd, who just is like gonna make the right play and play hard and not really make much mistakes on defense, stuff like that. I mean, guys, there's a reason why Mathurin was like trending so bad in the series at one point, and it's not just because he wasn't scoring. It's because like when he doesn't score, he doesn't really impact the game. So yeah, I just think that Benedict Mathurin going down to like 13, 10 minutes is like totally in the range of outcomes. And if that's the case, man, then we are super, super live with this under 6.5 points, which I believe is like the best odds out of all these is like him to score 6.5 points. Cause as you can see, his normal lines at like 9.5, 10.5 and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, and then if he plays shit minutes, he's probably not going to grab 3 rebounds, right? I mean, like, let's see, like if he plays like less than 14 minutes, we could even just do like the entire year. It hasn't happened much. It happened 3 times in the series though. Yeah, then he's under in 7 out of 8 games. That's obviously very correlated. And then obviously the third leg guys, Neesmith, who is someone that I was looking at normally, but then I did realize like the Mathurin risk probably is too big, or maybe the ankle risk is too big. Yeah, I mean, this is just like very correlated, man, right? If Mathurin plays shit minutes, we're probably going to see Neesmith was super important, man, early in the series, 37, 39, 33. 32 minutes in like that win. So it's like, well, if he's gonna play like normal minutes, which is probably like 31 plus, yeah, I mean, he hits this most of the time. He's getting guarded by Brunson, right? So if he's playing good, that means he's definitely scoring the rock a little bit. And you could have even gotten a little bit greedy and done like Neesmith like 15 points maybe, but yeah, I just decided to, quote unquote, play it safe by with the PRA. But yeah, man, if the way I do see this game going is, like I said, I do see it reverting back to normal. And Neesmith is just so important to this team. And you can make stuff about the ankle and stuff like that. And it's all real concerns and stuff. But man, Neesmith is just like such a good defender, such a winning player. He makes the right play. He's a great spot up guy, which is like huge in the playoffs, just having someone to respect. Yeah, Neesmith just like a much more impactful player than Mathurin, and that showed early. And then last game, I'm kind of chalking it up to a ton of different things. Him playing poor game script, wanting to rest the ankle for game 6. I think all that stuff factored into his really low minutes. So yeah, I do think things go back to normal with the Neesmith and Mathurin thing, yeah. So that's why I'm playing this SGP. It's under 6.5 points, under 2.5 rebounds. Neesmith over 17.5 PRA. Obviously, guys, I do lean over with Neesmith at 17.5 PRA, but I do think that like, poor Mathurin minutes would help you get over a ton. So might as well just add that in. And there definitely is that risk, right? Of the ankle still being an issue, of all that stuff being true. So yeah, I do lean over on Neesmith normally, but I just prefer to, risk less and, include a few more things that are correlated with that. So that's my play. Mathurin under 6.5 points, under 2.5 rebounds. Neesmith over 17.5 PRA. I think it's very correlated, and hopefully that can play out and come to fruition. All right, let's get into the rest of the game. Tyrese Halliburton stuff I think is very important. Actually, guys, before we get into the rest of the stuff, I do want to take you some time to shout out Novig, and also shout out ProphetX and my Discord. It's a little 3 shout out in one. So, guys, I know I had some comments down below saying that the Discord link wasn't working. The Discord link is working now, so make sure to join the Discord if you guys like MLB picks. I think when 2-1 last game, I need to update my record. I think I'm up for like 3 or 4 units or something like that. But yeah, just like I'm giving out picks before tip. And I'm using Novig and ProphetX so much for MLB because I'm giving the picks out right before the first pitch. There's a ton of liquidity on those apps. Like I said, sorry guys, my light just died. But like I was saying, man, there's a ton of liquidity close to first pitch on these. And like I said, I think half of my plays for MLB have been on Novig or ProphetX, these peer-to-peers, because they just have the best price in market, bro. And like I said, you're not setting yourself up good to be to maximize your profitability if you're not getting the best price in the market. So I have links for both Novig and ProphetX. I believe Novig, you can use code BETTN, but make sure to go through the links to download both those apps. And it's a big support to the channel, but it's also I truly believe that it's going to help you guys out a ton in the long term because they just do have the best price in market so much. And if you guys bet like spreads, money lines for like literally any other sport, because obviously they have every sport too. Yeah, it's like I mean, especially with the spreads and money lines, man, they're going to have the best price in market. Honestly, I think like around 90% of the time. So make sure to hop on these peer-to-peers, man. They're legal in 40 plus states. And yeah, check them out. Go through the links in my description and use code BETTN when you guys make your first deposit. They have a little deposit match going on Novig and some cash back on ProphetX going on. So make sure to check that out in the description. All right, guys. Halliburton over 21.5 points. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Halliburton here, man. Like I said, the matchup is completely there. Halliburton's just such a weird player sometimes. Like, he just completely lacks aggression, like, for entire games sometimes. And that was clearly, what happened in this one. The Knicks really didn't make any, like, crazy adjustments or anything. Like, you can only adjust so much when you have Cat and Brunson, right? And Halliburton's such a good passer. I think that this is gonna be a big Hallie game. I really do. I think that he's gonna come out with aggression because everyone talks about it so much. I'm sure that people are in his ear about it, like, Hallie, bro. Like, what are you doing taking what 7 shots? Like, that just can't happen. So yeah, I really, really like Hallie to bounce back. I will say, with that being said, man, his number is pretty high. It's not like indicative of at all of him just having a 16 PRA game. So keep that into account. That's why it's not an official play. I think the line is pretty fairly set, but I do think that just off of merit and game like game flow and stuff that he's definitely gonna bounce back and be aggressive here. So I really like Halliburton. Siakam continues. Guys, we're in like game 6, right? Like what the Knicks did in game 5 is just like play hard, to be honest. They played hard and fed off that home crowd. Got the win. I don't think they really made it. They didn't really make anything crazy, make any crazy adjustments, man. They gave up a ton of switches for favorable matchups for that Siakam could attack, that Halliburton could attack. They just didn't really play good, man. And obviously, Rick Carlisle was kind of playing with the bench a little bit more. Mathurin can be an issue too. Like if Mathurin's playing a lot, that can take away from Halliburton and Siakam, right? Because he's just like a guy who needs the ball in his hand and will get the ball in his hand, especially if he's playing good. So that definitely took away from Halliburton and Siakam. Like I said, I don't think that Mathurin plays a ton here, but he definitely could. So that could also be something that screws these up, and that's like another reason why none of these are official plays. Turner, I feel the same too, man. I don't know, like I don't know if it's like the switching that's like giving him problems, or but he should be doing so much better in this matchup. So I don't hate going back to Turner either. And like I said, I just kind of made a case for like the top 4 guys. Top 4 guys I think you can make a case for. I just don't have any strong conviction, man. I really don't. Don't know who's gonna be the one. I think the strongest conviction I have is Halliburton just because of how much he lacked aggression last game. But yeah, I think that you could like make a case for like most of these guys. Nemhard, I'd stay away from for sure. Maybe even lean under a little bit on Nemhard, even though you're getting to a spot where it's a pretty low line. Nemhard just like he just is like the guy who doesn't have like a matchup to attack really. He's getting guarded by like OG a fair bit. Well, actually no, that's like mostly Siakam. Well, it depends like who's out there for the Knicks if you're going too big or not. But it's just like, well, Halliburton can attack this. They're not really overhelping a ton. So yeah, Nemhard's usage has been insanely low. If we go here and check it out, we can go to more. Oh no, not more. Advanced filters, usage. In this Knicks series, man, 17% usage, 10%, 14%, 14%, 18%. Very, very poor usage for Nemhard, man. So he's gonna have to go over on efficiency. And yeah, you never wanna be making bets like that. As for the Pacers bench, like I said, I am under the assumption that Neesmith goes back to normal minutes. Turner, I think, plays like his 33. And then Siakam and Hallie, man, this is an absolute must win. So you got to have your 2 best players on the court a lot. I'm kind of out on the bench playing big minutes. And I just don't really have much thoughts. TJ McConnell is still, getting pretty good PRA per minute stuff. I just like wonder how long he's gonna play if this game stays close and if Hallie's like aggressive like that. So yeah. All right, let's move on to Knicks Pacers. I think that this is tough too. So Brunson, I've been on his overs the last 2 games. They both won barely. I think they've won by the hook both times or something like that. They have not been sweat free. That's for sure. Brunson's like a first quarter player and a third quarter player. And then in this series, man, second quarter, this dude just doesn't do anything. Like if there was like a second quarter under, that shit would be a free money under because this dude just does not do anything. Actually, I take that back. I don't like using the term free money because that's not true. Little nerd in me coming out. But yeah, no, Jalen Brunson, man, he's been amazing. But and this is another spot, right? Win or go home. Like to trust Brunson. However, they were kind of being semi-aggressive on him in this game, and I know he had 32 points. He shot so efficient, 12 for 6, 12 for 18, 4 for 7 from deep, 4 for 4 from the stripe. They were being really aggressive on JB. Also, I will say JB, I think in a closer game is way more likely to force the issue and just get up shots, get up tough shots regardless. Get to the free throw line more. So yeah, Jalen Brunson, I think is fairly set, but I will say, man, I wouldn't be shocked if they do throw something a little more aggressive at him. Cat, he's been great. I will say one thing is like in post touches specifically, he is getting doubled on post touches. So he's still getting guarded by a center, Turner, which he can shoot on sometimes. Which and then when he drives from the perimeter, he just like is like overpowering Turner or Siakam, and like the double's coming, but it's like kind of too late. So he can definitely score that way. But yeah, like Sammy gave out Carl's assists last game and that cashed. Yeah, he's had 3 the last couple games. I do think he definitely gets 2 assists, but it is at minus 200 now. But I don't hate Cat to get 2 assists, and if you like want to pair it with I don't know, maybe like Halliburton to score 15 points, or I don't even know if that would be like a good price, but yeah, I don't hate using Cat over 1.5 assists, like a little lay or something like that. So, and yeah, getting onto OG and Macau, I think that these guys might be slightly interesting. It's like, but they're just like such the same player, man. It's like, who do you pick? I hate when it's like this, man. You got 2 dudes who just sit in the corner. They can self create on their own, but like, how much usage are they gonna get? Like, okay, that they're a little aggressive on Brunson, and all these guys are just like having like normal ass games, right? Like, so the lines are just like no one's like a clear sell high, no one's a clear buy low. I think I've what is this game 6? I think I've probably said the same shit about Macau and OG every single 6 games. I just don't know what to do with them. Josh Hart is a little bit interesting to me, guys. So yes, his volume has been shit. He's weirdly been getting the free throw line. So like 6 free throws, 6 free throws, 6 free throws. The last 3 games, and then this game I bet on him, and 4 of these were like not real free throws. They were just like end of the game fouling. So take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, one thing I did notice about Josh is that they were actually pretty aggressively sending, help from him. And he was left open. Obviously, he only shot 2, but he could have shot more. And that's kind of like Josh Hart for you, right? You could always shoot a little bit more. But yeah, he had a lot of like opportunities to attack. He had a lot of opportunities to shoot threes. He's always gonna like scrap his way into transition buckets here and there. I think that Josh is actually pretty interesting, man, because like I said, this is the first game where like looking back on the tape, you could like really tell that they were really like helping off of him. And like I think that you should always be doing that off of Josh Hart. But yeah, especially with Brunson getting going early, like they really started to help off Josh's guy. I don't take Josh over 9.5 points with his minutes. He came off the bench the last 3 games, and I don't think he's sat ever since like he doesn't play like the first stint of like each half, but then he like plays the rest of the game. So I would assume that sticks. Obviously, Josh is like very trusted by Tibbs, and yeah. Deuce, I have a pretty strong lean to Deuce McBride's under PRA at 8.5. Um, so he got a couple extra minutes at that, like I think it was 2 extra minutes at the end of the game due to blowout. But then 15 and then 15. So this 15 was a weird game. I believe that he got 3 fouls in the first half. But that opened up minutes for DeLon Wright and Landry Shamet, who have actually been like Shamet, had some moments. DeLon Wright's just like a great defender. And Tibbs is like stubborn, where like if something's like working, he's not really going to go away from it. So these guys are like really like, so since DeLon and Shamet have entered the rotation, 15 minutes. And then this was really like 16 minutes because, we got a couple extra due to blowout. So like, if you think that he's only going to play like, I don't know, maybe like 19's his ceiling, and then like 13's his floor. It stays under a fair bit, right? I mean, that's 11 out of 20, but we could do the playoffs. Obviously, guys, regular season is way different than postseason. Playoffs under in 6 out of 9 games, only averaging 7.4 PRA. So yeah, man. I just like wonder maybe like 13 to like 20. Yeah, okay, 13 to 20. Then it gets a little bit worse, even though we're increasing his minutes. But yeah, I do have a pretty strong lean to deuce unders for sure. I just think that, like I said, with I know I'm very confident that Tibbs is gonna keep on playing Shamit and Wright like 10 minutes each, right? And that just takes away a ton from Deuce's overall ceiling. So yeah. Deuce under 8.5 PRA was actually like something I looked at pretty decently. Just didn't end up getting there. It's kind of tough for me to play like these like low margin ones unless I like really, really think I have an edge, right? Like I do think I have a slight minute edge, but I think that's about it. And it's also like it's minus 125, so it's Caesars and I guess DraftKings and then there. So some decent prices, but still, yeah, I think it's a strong lean for me, but that's about it. Mitch, guys, Mitch. So one thing about Mitch is that he only played 20 minutes last game, and the Pacers went hack a Mitch and forced him off the court. So obviously, guys, Carl has been playing really good. Mitch is still gonna start, play big minutes in the first half, but then he has not played in the fourth quarter, I believe, any of the last 3 games. I could be wrong. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he has not played in the fourth at all over the last 3 games. Um, and if they're like gonna like do hack a Mitch, maybe in the first quarter, that's something that could force him off the court. In the third quarter, that's something that could force him off the court. So I think that the market's pretty on with Mitch. I was initially looking towards his unders, but I think the market is pretty spot on with like 12.5 PRA and the 6.5 rebounds. So I don't think there's much value there. And yeah, these guys I probably just wouldn't play around with, right? And like very high variance spots with Shamit and Wright. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts here, guys. Like I said, the only play that I actually put money on was this SGP for a Mathurin crappy minutes and then Neesmith back to good minutes. Yeah, just not overthinking that. You can definitely tell yourself some stories with that as well, with some other guys. But yeah, strongest lean guys, honestly. I really like Halliburton first quarter points. It just, Halliburton, he's a pass first player and he's kind of like Chris Paul-esque where he likes to get his teammates involved early, but coming off of a game where he was just so unaggressive, I think that he really sets the tone early. So, minus 102 at FanDuel, I think that's a very, very good look. But yeah, points overall for Halliburton too. I also really like that. That's probably my best lean of the game here. So yeah, Tyrese. I think that Tyrese is gonna be pretty good in this spot. Also, maybe I don't hate like a Brunson 25 plus points and then Halliburton 20 plus. I think that Brunson just like, in an elimination game, like I talked about them being a little bit more aggressive, but I also think, Brunson might just counter that with like forcing the issue. Brunson's like just a very trustworthy guy, right? He always shows up for the moment. I would be shocked if he didn't have 25 points. And obviously, like, you're laying a hefty amount of juice for someone to score 25 points. Like lots can go wrong, but just I just don't see. I'd be shocked, like I said, I'd be shocked if Brunson like had a complete stinker where he just does not show up. So yeah. I think that could maybe be something to maybe just get Hallie down to 20 and then find something else to pair with. I think that's probably a decent way to go about it. All right, guys, that's gonna do it. One final reminder: make sure to drop a like, sub. Make sure to check out Novig and ProphetX, two peer-to-peer sweepstakes apps that I use a ton during the summertime, and I think that everyone should be using. In the description, make sure to go through those links. And yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I'll catch you guys next time.